Counterpunch boxing news. Counterpunch boxing news.
Like he said.
Counterpunch boxing news.
Like he said.
Counterpunch boxing news.
Like he said.
Counterpunch boxing. Counterpunch boxing news. Top of the morning, fight fans. This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning DILLIAN WHYTE. Tony Bellew. Get this. Tony Bellew was asked on DILLIAN WHYTE's situation, and this is what he said. If he's failed for PEDs, then he should be banned for life. I'd be shocked if it was PEDs, but if then it's gotta be the same for everyone. Anyone failing for PEDs should quite simply be thrown out of the sport for good. The minute they launch one for life, it'll stop. Believe me. There's more. But you have to prove without a doubt they've been on proper PEDs like Jarrell Miller. Perfect example would have been banning him for life. Someone who has copious amounts of PEDs in their system, and it's without any doubt, then ban them for life. End of. Those are the words from Tony Bellew, and let me counterpunch. Straight to the point, direct and pragmatic. Okay? And I agree with him. See, this isn't baseball. This isn't basketball. This is way more brutal than any of those. Even football, actually. And when you're dealing with someone using their hands as weapons, and then you injecting them or altering them with drugs or these illegal supplements that give you an edge to make you stronger and faster, that means it's more damage to your body. Okay? The only thing, though, like I say with everyone concerning PEDs, there is really nothing that we've seen on the negative that results in a failed drug test versus someone seriously hurt. Let me give you guys an example. Okay? Arturo Gatti versus Joey Gamache. Okay? These guys fought, and Joey Gamache was knocked unconscious. He had many lingering effects from that. He sued and he won some money. Now he is a trainer, a respected trainer. But let's say Arturo Gatti tested positive for PEDs. Well, that would have meant, and that would have been a totally different situation now, wouldn't it? See, we don't have enough, we don't have enough cases for this to go down the way people want it to be. Now, what Tony Bellew is saying, well, you want to get rid of the problem. If that's the overall goal, take one guy and use him as an example. Unfortunately, it sucks for that guy. So what Tony Bellew is saying is rather contradicting, because it's like, okay, if you take one guy and you do that, you have to do that for everybody. So that means if you take that one guy and you say, hey, you got tested positive for this, clomiphene, clenbuterol, whatever it is, right? TR, whatnot. And you ban him for life, that means you're going to have to go back and do that for everybody. So, since you haven't done that for everyone, okay, you can't do that to anyone, if that makes sense. You know, it has to be a cutoff date where the law has to be made, though, honestly, to stop this. Because I think the higher these fight purses, the better the competition. The more networks and everything is involved, I think the more a boxer will be tempted to cheat. I think he will cheat and then he will do his research on cheating. A lot of these guys that got popped, this isn't their first rodeo of cheating. That's just the first time they got caught. So that being said, you know it's one of these situations where these guys have been taking drugs a long time, and they might have not have disciplined themselves, or they might have took a little bit too much more than they used to based on who they're fighting, because who they're fighting, I think, motivates them to take the drugs to give them the edge. You know, maybe it's just simple laziness. Let me explain. Instead of you like Floyd, Money Mayweather or Manny Pacquiao or Terrence Crawford or any of these guys that worked very, very hard, you can throw Usyk in there, to result in their body performing at a certain rate, they would rather take drugs because they don't want to do the work. So a lot of times people take drugs for certain reasons. A lot of times people take illegal drugs or banned substances simply to cut weight because they don't want to work out as hard, because, again, it goes back to the lack of effort and the dedication that they put into their own training. Nonetheless, though, I think whatever gives you an edge, it's a slippery slope, simply because a lot of things that were banned or weren't banned are banned. So what do you really say about that, based on what we had? You got a guy in 1985 that took a certain supplement that gave him maximum results. Well, how about 97? That thing is on the bans list. Does that affect the guy? Of course it does. And I think everybody's body is different. But what Tony Bellew is saying is absolutely true. If you want to clean up the sport, you're going to have some collateral damage. You're going to have someone that is going to be the sacrificial lamb on getting banned forever. Now, I know a lot of people would like that to be Jarrell Miller. Understand, Jarrell Miller got popped in 2019 and turned around and got popped in 2020 as well. You know what I mean? And he blamed it on some dick control medicine. However, that might have been the case, unfortunately for him, but he's already with that jacket, so hey, he has to wear it, right? But it's very interesting of what Tony Bellew said. I think, and I want to believe, that there are a lot of fighters that don't do it. So if there is, we just have to weed out the ones that do. Let's make the sport clean. Let's make it safer. And you guys tell me what you think. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.